I'm going to be one of those people who want to be those people who talks to their dog and doesn't even care because I'm narcissistic. I don't even care. Hello, Indugu. Remember that? Indugu.
No.
It's from that About Schmidt.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he writes letters.
Yes.
That was weak. Now, hi, Josh.
Hey, Andy. How are you doing?
You know, I was thinking, and I don't know if you agree with this, I don't want you to include Indugu, who's a person, and then I'm writing and I'm talking to the dog.
Okay.
Because someone's going to say something. You know what? Include it. But also,
I wasn't going to. Had you not mentioned it, we would have had a clean in. We would have had a clean in.
Yes.
But you back.
You think I butchered it?
You back cursed it.
Isn't butchering it my shtick? Didn't I invent taking the momentum out of something by saying, what was I saying?
I thought it was, I thought you trademarked it as gum it on up.
But you could still include it. I just want to say that I was thinking about the fact that there is these days, you know how the comics were really racist and they go, these days you can't say anything.
Right.
Well, I don't want to be one of those guys, but I was thinking of Indugu, and he's impoverished kid. But now you don't, you say, fine, Andy, take it out or don't take it out, but don't go on and on and on and on, right?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't getting there yet, but yeah.
I know. Yeah. See how I know you? So I hear...
My point was more that you have this incredible hypersensitivity to sounding racist.
I do have that in general, but I think white people have a lot of blind spots.
Yeah.
And some white people are racist, like Bill Maher. I think when Bill Maher used the N-word,
right.
I think there's a little racism in him.
Right.
It's like,
but this was you referring to a character in a movie by
this
name.
was not legitimate. This was racist on my part in an obsessive-compulsive way the guy who's constantly worried.
That's what I wanted to get out of it, really.
That's all I care about, is whether I'm perceived to be okay.
Right.
And so the big God above, which I'm trying to make me, do you think that's a good idea? I'm trying to transfer from this horrible person who is ready to crush me. Could be, you could be, I could be projecting it onto you. Here comes you.
Here come I, as God?
I want to replace the voice with my own adult voice, not God, though.
All right. Well, good luck with that.
I love that. Tonight's the night of the college bowl championship. Now, I think I was 5 minutes late tonight.
Yeah.
I think I've never been on time. I'm doing my best. No. I mean, I'm trying to do it. But I was watching the game, and I was like, I know I could really annoy... I could have
waited for you to finish the game.
But you know what? The thing I realized is that if we start at 9 o'clock PST...
Yeah.
We're going, baby. That's what I wanted to say. I like this right in and on. But you may not like that. Maybe you wanted to do a pre-meeting.
No, I don't give a shit.
We could have gone over strategy.
Yeah. We can do that. We play an open-handed game.
Do we have strategy, per se? That was me sniffing. This would be me if I was sniffing here's what it would sound like if I was looking at a container of pot. Oh, that is good weed. You know what? Come and arrest me. It's January 8th, 9th.
It's got to be a Fed.
First of all, it still can't buy in this area, right?
I know I can. But...
will you stop lording it over me that you're sick?
Exactly. So how are you, Andy?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. First of all,
that's what I wish. I wish Huell Hauser would have lived to see legal pot.
Oh, I thought you meant that you wished Huell Hauser had lived to see our material about him.
Well, both. Both would have coincided.
See, I'm calling it material now. When people ask me what's the podcast, I say it's a fully written hour and a half of jam-packed material.
Right.
We have to mix it up to make it seem less linear.
It's a quilt.
If you will. How come you never say if you will? I want you to
I do say it.
If you will.
I do. You'll find that I do.
Now, I have a gripe with people, maybe we've talked about it before, people don't have the same gripe as me when people use sort of.
Man, I walked right into this beautiful door, Huell Hauser, in a pot store, and you just trampled all over.
All right, let's forget that. I will remember what I'm saying, sort of. I'll put a pin in it, sort of.
Finish what you're going to say.
No.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good comedy craft, is all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying.
Had you been listening, you would have known.
Sort of.
Hey.
Now I won't forget it because I heard they came up with paper this week, and you can write it down. So, okay, Huell Hauser.
It's I was ramping up, and now I feel on the
Josh,
spot.
we wrote the bit earlier today.
No.
So read it right from the cards. What would it have been like If you
is this?
It's fantastic.
How do you sativa?
Sativa. Lou, stop smoking over there. And see, Lou would lose it if he was in the.
Right.
Oh my God! I see a lot of different levels to your thing now.
Yeah.
You came up to the mic. You said, "Right." So there's a little bitterness, anger, sarcasm.
No, okay. What I have is an ocular migraine, actually, right now going on.
Well, how long do they last?
Yeah, under a half hour.
Oh my God! It's hard enough. I have to work off you.
No, you kind of look like the opening to Family Affair to me right now, but that's okay.
Why? Because of my
ocular migraine.
Oh, is that a special kind of ocular migraine that it makes you see people from Family Affair?
Yes, you look like.
Oh my God, are you Mr.
You look
French?
like Sebastian Cabot to me.
Is that what when you first told the doctor? People look like Sebastian Cabot to me. What was the reaction? Have you ever had a pain migraine?
Yeah.
And how? Any time recently?
Yes.
Susan had a terrible. I'll tell you more about it afterwards because I'm so sick of you telling me to bring up Susan's medical information during the show. But she had terrible migraines that were related to her her thing not getting better at first. Her thing. What's the point of me even saying it? But so she would different things would hurt. Her temples would hurt, and then her neck would hurt. And so I kept going out. And she wasn't forcing me to go out, but I thought it'd be a good husband.
But you wanted to at that point.
No, go out and buy I tried to buy things that you can't say because it hurts on your temples that I'm going to buy rub stuff, and that will not necessarily do it. There's a couple of products that are out there. I'm not sure they work. I bought them.
Right. Like Dr. Johnson's Temple Rub.
Dr. Johnson's Temple Rub sounds like something that happened to me before my bar mitzvah.
Backstage, not pretty.
Backstage before my bar mitzvah?
Back bema.
Did you say Dr. John's Temple Rub?
Dr. Johnson's, I think I went with.
I don't know if I should report this, but I got a temple rub from my cantor once when I'm 14. When I was 14. Dear Thought Spiral, there are some things you can joke about and thumb things that you can't joke about. Joking about Jewish people in this way is an insult. Did you watch that documentary in Australia about the Jewish guy, and he turned in this guy who was mentally, physically, sexually abusing people, and then there was a whole hubbub. It was unbelievable, and I hope I described it well for Movie Week. So, what would it be like if Hauser, instead of like looking like, I bet he went to a brewery, right? So this is do you think he ever went to a microbrewery?
I bet he did go to a microbrewery.
Wow! So now these barrels are small. So you make your own beer? He's always like, can't quite believe it.
You hop up and down? No, they're hops.
They're hops.
Oh.
Lou, are you getting this? He's the kind of guy who the first day that the air conditioners came out and they were distributed, they sent him around. I can't believe this. You're telling me the air near me is going to get cold?
It's colder inside than it is outside.
Wow, it's fantastic.
That is chilling. Did you get that, Lou?
No, he wouldn't do a pun like that because Lou would be too busy. Lou is very
and
busy.
You see the camera.
See, because the thing about Lou is, Hugh seems to think that the only thing that's happening is his show, and that Lou isn't getting it somehow.
Are you dabbing right now?
So how are you? No, did you ask me how? What did I say when you asked me how I was?
I don't care.
It's post. This has been a rough couple of weeks, and I say that I mean it to excuse all of my lack of ability to be social or. I dive up. I don't try to hard enough, obviously, but I tried to do my own tweet for the show this week.
Yeah.
And how'd that go?
It was a retweet. So.
No. I copied link to tweet. It's still, you have a point. You have a point when you say that a lot of the information, if I put it into a link, doesn't seem fair.
I just, the fact that you did something, Andy, is always a good thing.
The thing is, I'm trying to sabotage the podcast from the inside.
Anytime you aren't just a fucking passenger, it's a good thing.
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's where the guilt comes from. See, now, the thing is, you could say, oh, Andy, you might not say, but even if you did say, Andy, I'm not upset, I know that one day someone's going to be upset. If it's not about my lack of participation in the podcast, it's going to be some other way that I'm being narcissistic and not sharing the load. Because I told you when we first started, please let me edit these. I can't believe my theory is if you hadn't bought the recording devices, maybe we wouldn't have even done the podcast.
I think it was that thin a line for sure.
All I did improve one part of my behavior, my business behavior, was if I'm texted on Friday and I should return the text by the end of the weekend. But now,
that was your 2017 accomplishment,
you should
Andy.
See
it's time to move on to a new one.
You should see how I yell.
Time for a new breakthrough in 18.
When I yell, when you do contact me at any time. Uh-oh.
Did you just see
I got a part.
What?
Yeah.
Really? You got a part?
I got a part. But I shouldn't do...
Yeah, but that was a good... If you're going to look at a text during our show, that was a good one.
But I can't even...
When does it shoot?
What's the... it would be shooting... For some reason, they say, don't do... Even if you're around Monday and can do it, you shouldn't do podcasts while we're... I love the character of me pretending like I don't like to do the podcast. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes I don't like to do the podcast like I don't like to do before I get here.
Right.
Sometimes during.
Sure.
Because I'm not listening.
Right.
My mouth's dry and I'm talking. I know you said something. I don't know what it was. Right? Yeah. Now, I happen to get not very upset, but somebody who I respect was saying... It wasn't Andy Richter, but it was. I like that show Bullseye with what's his name? Jesse Thorne.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I finally watched Charlie Brown's Christmas, and it's boring. And kind of Andy Richter agreed that Andy wasn't as excited about him to say it was boring,
right.
But Andy didn't fight him on it. It is not boring. The Charlie Brown Christmas special is. Oh my God! Here's the thing. I'm such a people pleaser. I'm always locked in the space before I know what your opinion is. So how much further should I be?
Go on whatever limit. I'm not going to fight you about it because I don't give a shit.
Okay, well, but you don't like it that much?
It's not like I don't like it.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
It's like he goes over to the Snoopy. Snoopy's getting the whole thing going for the big contest.
Right.
And then Lucy says, can you play me that song that says... Deck the hall, and they goes bam, 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 bam. No, you know the song. Boom, he keeps playing the same song. Magic.
Yeah.
Magic. Snoopy dances. And I cry when I watch that. I cry even now. I haven't watched it in many years because I can't watch anything I've watched before. I used to watch The Grinch every year, not the 4-hour one.
Yeah.
How did you like the 4-hour
one? But how long has it been since you've watched the Charlie Brown Christmas
5
special?
years.
Okay, so
because I got to a point where
in your late 50s.
I got to a point where even this year, well, I would have gotten through it, but then Susan said, "Do we have to with the Christmas Carol?"
Yeah. Why? Because it's boring.
No, Josh. I guess you never did well in debating society, but the truth is, I can't watch it because I've seen it so many times. There's a big difference between that and being boring. Right. What's boring about it? It's these little kids are so cute.
It's it's good. I saw it a few times when I was a kid.
Incoming.
I remember the Dolly Madison commercials as much as I remember the Peanut special.
I was a big Peanuts fan.
Beware the zinger zappers, Andy.
We didn't have those, did we? That sounds West Coast.
No, it's Dolly Madison.
I don't remember having Dolly Madison even in my area. Did you?
I don't think so either. I just remember the commercials from Peanut specials mostly.
Yeah, I do remember that. But you didn't have it. Let's have a 4-hour. Did you have yodels?
Remember
what were yours called?
Remember Dolly Madison? Remember that? Remember that?
Mr. Reminiscence.
Thank you, Mr. Reminiscence.
Mrs. Hey, remember when we used to have Slinkies?
Remember that? Went downstairs alone, pairs, anyone?
Silly Putty, more like it was silly until the 4th hour of playing with it. Actually, I'm not committed to this material because Silly Putty is one of the few toys I liked. But then once you stop liking a toy like Silly Putty, forget it. Don't think, I'll put it away for 6 months, and maybe next year I'll get back into Silly Putty.
I had a thing for a while where it was like the thing I bought like a bunch of Silly Putties.
Did you like this? What were you thinking?
And that was just sort of my writing sort of thing for a while.
What are you talking? Oh, you mean as an adult this happened?
As an adult.
All right, now I'm very depressed.
But then it got really gross.
Well, what did you do with it when you were writing?
You just, the same way you do any kind of fidget tool or something.
I got a fidget spinner for Christmas.
Okay, so suddenly I'm the asshole.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Is there a way to, okay, first of all, I probably don't know if there's a way to mix it up. Is there a way to mix it up?
I don't know. I don't have one.
All right, well, it's a thing.
It's for children.
See, that's where that makes me want to start up the video portion of the show when you make a face like that. But it's like a round thing, right? It's got 4 wheels on it.
Yeah, it's like a throwing star looking thing.
And then it just revolves around. So I started to do this thing where I'm like balancing on one finger. Right. What am I at, the Comedy and Magic Club? What am I at? The Magic Castle all of a sudden?
Right.
I thought it would be something where you could play around with it and it would have, not like a Rubik's Cube, which just is stupid, because I'm too stupid to do it. Here's me with the Rubik's Cube. I guess not. How about you? Can you do it?
Can I do a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
I can take it apart. I learned how to take it apart early in my
You mean like as a kid?
With it, yeah.
And then put it together like cheating?
Yeah. It wasn't cheating because...
He didn't say how to get the cube.
There's no rules and there's no governing body.
Hey, that Rubik's is laughing all the way to the bank, right?
There was this guy, I don't know if I've talked about this, but there was this guy several months ago. I was at an airport waiting for a flight. And there was this guy who was standing across from me, and he would, every couple minutes, he would take a Rubik's Cube out of his pocket, a full-size Rubik's Cube.
You never talked about this.
And he would sort of, without even really looking at it, he would solve it. And then he'd put it back in his pocket.
Are you kidding me?
And then a couple of minutes later, he'd take it out, he'd mess it all up, and he'd solve it, and he'd put it back in his pocket. And I hated this man so much for no reason.
No, I think
over the course of almost a half hour waiting for this flight.
You built your hate?
I built my unreasonable hatred up.
Because he was trying to show off, right?
Well, it was yes and no. I mean, I think it was sort of an autistic sort of thing going on.
Okay, so maybe we shouldn't go further because
I don't care. But like if you would have commented to him about it, he would have gone, "Oh yeah, it's just a thing I do." It would have been something like that. It would have been this very kind of tossed off sort of thing. It was like, yes, it was for show. Like, it's the kind of guy who rides a unicycle to school, but acts like you're supposed to do that.
Right. It's very. It sounds like you'll never know if he was.
But I didn't want him to die or anything. I wanted him to trip and fall on the Rubik's Cube, so the corner hit his leg like keys.
I would like to find out. I'd like to go deeper into the story. Do you think we could find him? I don't know why I said that. I apologize.
It wasn't a segue.
This is my new thing. I apologize.
It wasn't exactly a segue to something.
My apologies. I was wrong again for talking. I'm wrong. That doesn't help it either, does it?
No.
Josh,
but if you said that in your head, it might
No, Josh,
okay.
Let me stop you and say, you know what? It's my fault that this podcast right now is in front of you.
Yeah.
Because I'm just obsessed with apologizing for it.
Okay.
But here's the thing about me. I over-apologize, but I have another trait that's a positive counter to that, and that is I get tired of doing anything.
Well, and you apologize without actually seeming sorry.
Sorry, Josh. Yes. Sorry. I hope your wife's knee What would I have done to your wife?
Here's the subtext to any apology is, I'm mad at you for making me say this.
Yes. I'm sorry that your wife was in the passenger side of the car. Did I ask her to be in that?
Right.
Did I ask her?
Did I tell you to cheap out and not get side airbags?
Right. No. Did I tell you I was a great driver before I drove your wife passenger side first?
So what part did you get? Let's go back to that.
See, I'm afraid of jinxing it. I really am.
All right.
So I think...
Is it juicy?
It's not juicy. It's just going to be funny to do it.
Will you be traveling?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. All right. You know the show. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And my manager said, "Have you made fun of the show?" And I had to say, I have made fun of the show, but not that much. So now maybe you'll guess. It's like kind of a show that we were watching and we kind of enjoyed watching it. But we
kind of hate watched it and did like that.
No, Josh. No. Oh my God, you are evil.
Oh,
you could have. You think you can get this part?
I'm just picturing you in some very wide lapels.
You're getting hot. But what will be fun is I like all the people on the show.
The best part is you can play yourself.
A bad actor?
Just age-wise. Yeah.
Oh, that is... What are you saying? Why am I... What is your...
So I got it right.
Wait, is your point... What do you mean I could play it...
As Andy
Why
Kindler.
is this negative about me? It seems funny to me, but what's the actual joke? That I'm old?
Yes.
But they're not old.
No, but as if you were around.
Oh, one of the grizzled. Who's that? It's Andy Kindler. Use my real name.
He's very meta.
Well, I think you've guessed it, but I still feel like I should.
Okay, well, we won't jinx it further, but that's good. Congrats, Mazel Tov.
Well, you know what the Mazel Tov about it really is? Is why don't you send us some tape of him? Like, without me.
Oh, you didn't have to.
Yes, and you know what happens when I audition? I ruin it. I have this. I told you, though. I mean, this I have said, that the reason why music and audition. I said about music, but I don't know if I added that auditions, too, are me not doing well because I'm thinking about, I'm not sure if I'm questioning my abilities as I'm auditioning. That's never a good thing.
It's there's too many. In that room, I can imagine for you that there's just too many levels to tune into to really get down to business.
Well, yeah, for years, I would say, what's my opening off the top of my head joke going to be when they tell me the slate?
Right.
Well, did that get me anywhere? No.
Right. But it is literally a room of people judging you with no other purpose but to judge you.
And sometimes they do judge harsher.
Right.
You know, like the one that I got very mad at, I don't know if I told you this one, but the guy goes, it's for two sportscasters, and they're like, hey, they're sportscasting a guy going over to a woman and saying something, and oh, he got shot down. Wow, he's going to take him to the doghouse. So, you know what I'm talking about? It was two, and they ended up using actual sportscasters.
Okay.
But I thought it was like they wanted it to be real. Hey, take that guy to the doghouse. But the guy at one point said to me,
you could only do your sketch character version, is what you're saying?
No, we had to have this happen to you where you have to. We had to operate the gizmo while we were auditioning, which I think is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
When you do this, then press that in frame 3, and then at one point the guy goes, "Can we just get this fucking thing going?" And that got me very mad. Yeah. I stewed about that until I forgot about it.
Your watch.
I forgot about it, but now that I remember it again, I'll stew about it for a few weeks.
Yeah.
That's why
it's good to do a grudge inventory at the end of every year.
That's true. I always felt like it was now I don't feel as bad about it, but I always felt like when you can be mean to people and you are because of your position of power, that's always the worst kind of. It's never attractive quality.
Yeah, just abuse, that abuse entitlement.
Yeah, like if I was running an open mic, I mean, I've run open mics and things like that, but I would not be like the Jeff Wayne. I don't know if you ever had to run through his open mics.
No.
You know who he is, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I spent my worst week ever on the road with him.
We've talked about this, right?
Yeah. Early on.
I'm a bad boy. That's not your story, right?
No.
There's one story about him saying, getting beaten up while he's saying, I'm a bad boy, like the guy, like Lou Costello.
Well, it involved him getting beaten up, my story. But
Is it Seattle?
No, it was Kansas City.
So he's been beaten up in different cities. This is where you had to run.
Yeah, I've been beat up everywhere.
Across the mountain air, boys. You told the story, yes. I think, on the show.
Yes, I did.
You helped him escape, I think, maybe.
I did. I saved his life.
But didn't you have to escape?
With regret.
But didn't you have to escape, too? You wouldn't have wanted to stay around.
No, I was the safest of the 3 people on my quote-unquote team.
Well, I don't think you came out. What do you mean, quote, team?
I mean, it was us against the townsfolk. But I had nothing to do with the conflict.
Why is it that you have told the story, but I don't remember it completely?
Oh, gee, why is that? I don't know.
Do you edit these things, too?
No.
But
so we're talking about abuse of power.
Abuse of power. Now, when I started, there was a club called the L.A. Cabaret. Was that around, too?
Yes, I played it.
And Jeff Wayne used to do the open mic, and he would run it like if Hitler was running an open mic is what he would do. Like a Nazi, if he could have killed the people he didn't like, I think he would have had us killed.
Yeah.
But he would come in, there'd be a big list of 70, 80 people. He'd go, let's make this list shorter. And he'd bump people. That was his first hilarious thing he would do.
Yeah.
And then, or he would say, who should I bump? And then look around to enjoy. he was a tyrant.
Right, and the people who hadn't played there before didn't know well enough to go, me.
Oh, please bump me. And that was a horrible club to begin with.
It was awful. I emceed there for like 6 hours once, I remember.
Oh, yeah, that's the kind of thing he would do, Ray Bishop. Right? Ray Bishop.
Yeah.
Plus, the day that he told me that it wasn't the LA Cabaret, that he was trying to name it The Cabaret, I got very angry. I just came up with that joke, Josh.
Oh, that's a lot.
Hey, Josh, no, it wasn't actually the LA Cabaret.
It was La Cabaret, is what you're saying.
How come that joke's not working?
It is now that I'm on board.
Do you call yourself
Why is that?
Do you call yourself the fixer?
Good.
What?
That's so good. Why is that?
Why are you so good?
No.
Oh. I really, when you were having a good time fakely,
yeah,
I preferred that to when you're sullen.
I can only have a fake sense of abandon. I can't really give it up for real ever.
Don't tell people you're sullen. Why would you spread that rumor about you?
I'm not sullen. I'm dead inside. It's a difference.
Are you? No, you're not, though. We're not. Neither one of us are people who've given up yet. If Trump is not impeached, well, no, Trump is going to be impeached. I think this is a good year. Today is what my wife pointed out was 1/8/18. 18 is the lucky. This is when we're recording it, folks. So get over the tree. 1/8/18. Well, people know when we record it because they're calling in with questions.
And we say it a lot too.
1/8/18. That's so that's 18/18. That's Chai. That's a lucky number in Jewishness. So I feel like 18 is going to be a good year.
Okay, good.
Now the other part of me, as soon as I say that, I feel like, why would I? How can I make that? What am I, Kreskin?
Yeah,
Nostradamus.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, no, I don't feel like he jinxed it. So,
and what does predicting do? What does it do?
I don't know.
If I'm right, I had a 50% chance of being
exactly.
right.
It's a coin toss sort of prediction.
I just feel like everything I'm thinking in my head is wrong. Things could get worse.
Things absolutely could get worse. Yeah,
but I felt like
we could have this, and the stock market could go down.
That's true. My year when I was born, at this time we know that I was born in the 50s. We don't have to say the year. But imagine being born and by the time you're 4 or 5 ago, and you say to yourself, oh my God, what happened in World War II? Boy, did I dodge a bullet. Could you have predicted in your same life that there would be Vietnam and then this? That's from Modern America. Have you ever heard of a no-win situation? Vietnam, this? But, I mean, I thought, shouldn't I have been... My argument is...
By the way, Modern America?
I can't be the movie. The original name for Modern Romance was supposed to be Modern America. You know, why don't we just... If you shot me now, and then you really did kill me with one shot...
You're not allowed to say Albert or Brooks.
Never in the same sentence.
That Mr. Einstein.
Now
hey, how about that funny Mel?
It's interesting that you went to... Lost in America.
That's what you were combining, I think, was Modern America.
It's the greatest bit of all time. It's Modern America. All right, I don't know.
Your nipples look like nest eggs. That's Modern America.
Gambling. That's what I love when Gary Marshall says, when Albert Brooks says, play a little word game with me. Las Vegas. Gambling. I love the way he says gambling. What is that? Is it like a New Jersey gambler? Gary Marshall. He's kind of like Bernie Brillstein, but real.
Isn't he Brooklyn?
That's what it is. I told them I have to do it. Do you ever hear when he was explaining about why he had to do Mork? I love Gary Marshall, by the way, but it's funny the way they go. My kid said to me, why are there no people from outer space on TV? Boom. You sound like you've never heard him say that.
No,
story.
I have. I was trying to...
Give me some room?
Yes, exactly. I didn't know if something came after boom.
Well, I really do love Gary Marshall. I must say, and it's always when someone's passed away, it was very sad because he was also best friends with, his partner was Jerry Belson, who was also a brilliant writer. But I have to say, I did not enjoy, and you told me these are great movies, Arbor Day, New Year's Day,
Tisha
B'Av Day, right. Valentine's Day,
Happy Purim
Day. I don't like that kind of movie.
No, I never watched any of them, but they looked bad.
And how many stars do you need?
I don't know. It just looked like a Love Boat episode to me.
What does it say about me that when I first saw Pretty Woman, I thought it was a great movie? That's not a great movie, is it?
Not a great movie.
It's like and it's also, isn't it a bad message?
It seemed like a bad message. It seemed like, it was flawed in many ways, I thought.
I liked the idea.
But a lot of people liked it, in your defense.
Right, and also, I think Jason Alexander was pretty good in that movie.
He was. He was a good, horrible asshole.
But if you
who tried to rape her, is my recollection.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why am I bringing it up? But have you watched it recently?
No.
It wouldn't hold up, right?
It didn't hold up at the first place for me, really.
Oh, I
enjoyed Larry Miller's scene.
What movie were we talking about?
Pretty Woman.
What's that?
Pretty Woman.
I did like it the first time I saw it. I'm going to admit that I liked it like a stupid American. Like, hey, check it out. He fell in love with his prostitute. It's fantastic. So, did you ever see Hugh Hauser when he interviewed prostitutes? So you sleep with these guys. Lou, get in there.
And then you get money on top of that? That's amazing.
Oh,
what a deal for you.
So he doesn't even
Lou, think about this.
Think about Lou.
They get to have sex and they get money on top of it.
Did you like when I said Lou, get in there? I was making a joke like Lou would be up into someone's vagina. This is where I get blue, baby. You can't stop me either. All right. Now, how are you? How have you finished?
My migraine's gone now.
Oh.
My migraine's gone.
That's amazing. Lou, are you getting this? No, I can't see anything. It's an ocular migraine.
My migraine's gone, Bert. My migraine's gone.
Merry Christmas, Joseph. That's all I did on Christmas Eve was go, Happy New Year, old.
Merry Christmas, you old building alone. Merry Christmas, Emporium.
Was he do the banister on the stairs?
He just makes a noise.
Merry Christmas, you old banister that comes off.
No, that's implied.
But why was he so mad earlier in the movie about the banister? What is he, a nut?
He was sick of it. It was every time he went up that stairs.
Yeah.
Every time, Andy. Every fucking time.
I think that was the first.
Every fucking time I go up these stairs, here's the fucking thing from the banister.
Are you going to do Blue Jimmy Stewart? If you did Blue Jimmy Stewart, you know how much money you could make? That movie, when he's angry at his family, stopped playing the piano.
Right.
I saw a movie when I was a kid. I'd never seen a movie before that showed the hero being mean.
Right.
Maybe that just indicates how little I saw movies.
It could have been, but it was shocking for sure.
I have another question for you. Do you know how Curb Your Enthusiasm has bum 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 boom 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 boom? You know, as they're music playing along.
Yeah.
It's like a tuba, maybe. Is my voice conveying at all what that sound is?
Not well, but.
How would you do it?
I don't.
All right. I just thought today that is a takeoff on the Laurel and Hardy music.
Yeah. It is. It's slapsticky music.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Can I market this skill?
Recognizing artist's intent?
Yeah, because I don't get puns till many years later. I come up with puns, but then I don't get the pun. I wish I could think of an example of it, but that's what that meant.
Right.
Like Full House. No, that's a bad example.
You're going to love that football game when you go home, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened. I was about 5 minutes left in the game, and I sent a text to Josh. Did I tell the story already? I don't think so,
no.
Right? I'm recording the game. Will you be able to avoid telling me who won? Leaving in 2 minutes. And then you wrote back, I think I can hold it together. I see. You bring your humor even to the text. For a long time, I never return people's things because I wanted everything to be clever.
Right.
That was my excuse.
That was how you froze up.
I freeze up so many different ways. I have a friend from college who I definitely want to remember. She's here in town. I want to see her.
Yeah.
But I put everything, I look at the text, I go, well, I'm so busy. What am I so busy doing that I can't just answer the things? I'm doing nothing.
No, I know.
Agonizing.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry so much about the clever. An actual response is so much better than the clever 2 hours later.
That's the first thing you said when you watched the rough tape of I Wish I Was Bitter.
Yes.
He said, don't worry about the funny.
Right. We'll cut around it, I said.
We'll cut around the comedy. There's a lot of famous people in I Wish I Was Better.
Yeah.
In the audience.
I remember Paul Feig was there.
Paul Feig was there. Todd Glass was there.
Yeah. Gruber was there.
Gruber was there. I don't know why I can't remember.
I would have rather been in that audience than that edit bay. I'll tell you that much.
I can't believe I survived that. I can't believe I survived that. We would not have survived it without you. That's the thing that's amazing.
It's true.
It really is true. Because we were at our wits' end.
Yes.
And when I say...
There was crying.
When we say we're at our wits' end, I'm saying I had no idea how to fix it, and it was very annoying.
Well.
You did it, and that guy went on to win so many editing awards.
That's for other projects.
He didn't want to be an editor. He wanted to be a director. So
Is that what he wanted?
That was our mistake.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is a funny tape you've made.
All right.
Now, and also, I think going with Avid 7. These days, it's easier.
Oh, God, yes.
Because we didn't have a group feature or whatever the hell you call it. You couldn't see three things. I don't even know what I'm saying. I blocked it out.
Yeah, it was compared to what we have now, it was some clunky shit.
It was clunky. Well, those were two very hard nights for me in December of 2003.
Is that what it was?
Maybe not that long ago.
It came out in 2007, I thought.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It's been a long time.
I thought I was a seasoned stand-up, but I didn't realize that I had still putting so much pressure on myself.
The two nights you shot it, you mean?
The second night was better, but the first night was stiff as a board. But we ended up using both nights, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was weird. I was like, you think about stand-up, I think, is not, I wouldn't say it's a hard thing in terms of like, getting on stage or getting to the club. But it's plays with your head. What did in the old days and can still do it. I keep saying when I've had like a few shows in a row that go well, I got it now. No way.
I finally figured this out.
I know.
Yeah.
But then maybe wanting to always have a good set wouldn't be. If you had the argument would be if you had a good set every time, you wouldn't enjoy as much. The spiritual argument would be.
Yeah. I'd rather have like different grades of good sets.
Of fantastic.
Yes. That was especially good, I'd like to say.
Now I have a problem, Josh, that's going to be cost me or you me money.
Okay.
I have a condo.
Yeah.
I've had it for 3 years. In the first 2 years, I got the extended warranty.
Oh, the home warranty.
And the home warranty, which is always hard for me. I used to be a stereo salesman, and I used to sell extended warranties.
Right.
And I've always hated paying for extended warranties. But then when I go to like Best Buy and I buy something that's $100 that could be covered for $10, sometimes I'll pull the trigger. I try to restrain myself. But this is the type of thing when you use these home warranties, it's like, yes, call between the hours of 8 and you have to go by you have to use their people. There's always a procedure to get anybody to the house. So we decided to let it go in the third year, and now my air conditioner's gone.
Yeah.
So do you think I was right to let it go, or how long did you keep it?
I think we just kept it for a couple of years.
Us too.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
and then you start realizing that, okay, this is going to still cost $50 each time, and I'm going to get a really shitty repairman. It might cost me $50 twice. It might,
yes.
And
even them putting, so I guess I'm just having a Jewish guilt about not buying the third year.
No, because if you bought the third year, it would have happened in the fourth year.
It's a 1982 air conditioner.
That's my mother, dear.
You love that show. I don't see what you liked in it. Okay, well now I feel better about it. But what do you do?
I'm just glad Jerry Van Dyke's mother wasn't still running to see him die.
Oh. Was Jerry Van Dyke the lead of that show?
Yes.
I love Jerry Van Dyke. I loved him on the Dick Van Dyke Show, and I also probably talked about this. He was there on Conan one night when I was kind of bombing, and he couldn't stop laughing after.
Well, there's nothing funnier than you.
He was like, "Are you okay, Jerry?" He's like, he kept saying, "I've been there. I've been there." It was great.
You don't become a comic without being hilarious bombing.
And he was having such a good time.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you gave him a moment of pleasure.
Too young, Jerry Van Dyke died. 84?
Yeah.
Now, some of our younger listeners are probably thinking...
That's old.
That's old. I can't even believe Josh and Andy are still alive. Boy, do I know how to set up doom and gloom.
All right. A little cul-de-sac there.
Now, what is exciting? What has happened since the last time I saw you? Anything exciting?
Has anything exciting happened? No. Nothing exciting has happened.
You haven't completed all your tasks then, I'm assuming.
No, I've been on sort of a one task a day kind of a pace since New Year's.
What does that mean, one task a day?
I mean, I kind of like get one thing done, and I feel like, all right, you got something done. And then my urge to do more things kind of melts away. Like Friday, I went and got a hard drive from Hollywood.
We are terrible.
I had to pick it up at the post house. So,
So you considered that part of the day?
That was the day, pretty much. That was like, all right, I drove to Hollywood.
Why did you rent a hard drive? You didn't.
I did not rent a hard drive.
You bought one?
No, I was picking up a hard drive from a post.
Oh, this is from the same.
That was mine.
This is ephemera.
It was come and get your fucking hard drive situation.
Oh, that's always depressing.
Yeah.
You can't put that off.
No.
Now, is this so that you need the hard drive too?
They
need you to pick it up.
Yeah, they didn't want it. I had finished working with them a couple years ago now.
Do you still have your wife's wedding ring in the pawn shop, or were you able to get that out?
2 more payments.
When I was a kid, I couldn't understand how pawn shops worked. I mean, maybe if you explained it to me, but I still didn't get it.
Yeah.
It seemed like you bring your own stuff in, you leave it there, and then and the worst thing that happens is if someone bought it because it's some rare guitar.
Well, they can't buy it while it's still in pawn.
Look, I've watched Pawn Stars. Okay. I know everything about pawn shops now.
Okay.
I've watched Pawn Stars.
All right.
That show I found very annoying after a while, especially when I found out the know-it-all guy, is a big Trump guy on that show.
Oh, he totally seems like he would be.
Yeah, I didn't think so. He's a know-it-all kind of a guy.
He's a know-it-all with really simple-ass shit. This is a Babe Ruth baseball, and he cuts away. Babe Ruth was a very popular baseball player in the 1920s. There wasn't a bigger sport than baseball. If I can get this for a good price, I'm going to nail it.
And that's all looped in? So looped in, right? Like after the fact.
Well, they interview him in front of those 3 guitars that never sold.
That never sold. I watch their shows. I get into for a little, like American Pickers. I liked for a little while.
I can get stuck watching American Pickers.
And then that was the same thing with
you did a remote with them for Letterman, right?
You know how hard it was for me to restrain giving one of my own credits?
No, but see, that's an actual anecdote. It's not just a credit. That's an anecdote.
I still felt like somehow I would make it crummy to bring it up. Yeah, I did the thing with them on Letterman. We went to the field.
Yeah.
And I was picking things with them.
You said they were kind of just annoyed by you.
Yeah, I think they were kind of annoyed by me. And there was also a dynamic between the two of them.
They think they're the funny ones, too. So.
No, I think there was, I don't even know if I was like, you know what, why do I get, what could happen to me now? Could I get sued?
I don't think so.
So why do I say things that I shouldn't say, mean things about people who could help me, and then I pull back?
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple of episodes of this podcast that, based on this casting, you'd prefer we didn't exist.
Who did have I put? Is it Acapulco? No, the one they said to me, please try to include the other guy, whoever the other guy was, because he doesn't feel like he gets enough screen time. That's what the guy said to me. I don't know if it's true.
Oh, this is the American Pickers guy?
Yeah, and I did see.
Please try to include Frank.
Well, it's
the bearded one.
It's the bearded one. Yes. Yeah. Is that how you see the dynamic on the show? The other guy's in charge.
Kinda, yeah.
I think the other guy's also made more money from the.
Well, I think one of them is more the owner of the store.
Oh, okay.
And the other guy is
the home improvement guy.
Yeah,
isn't he like the home?
He kind of is like that, yeah. Except without a fence in front of him. Oh no, different guy.
I used to love that. He would go. You wouldn't see the thing. I had never watched the whole episode all the way through of Home Improvement.
You just stayed till fence guy each time.
You did?
No.
Okay, now because you used to call me up. When was it on the 90s?
Yes.
And you say, Andy, give it a shot because this guy's pretty philosophical at the end.
lot of Bond malt coming from over that fence.
What would he say? Why was he so, quote, like a philosopher? What did he say to Tim Allen that helped? You know, Tim, I was married. Will we ever find out if he was married or anything?
You know, Tim, immigrants have actually done a lot of good things for our country.
I forgot something that was really going to be good to talk about.
Damn.
I had it down here. Oh, okay. So I used to like the Antiques Roadshow because my dad liked it, and I missed my dad, and my dad and mom were antique dealers.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they. My mom. In fact, my mom. My dad, they both appreciate it. My mom had an amazing eye, so she had like the world. She had maybe the best stoneware collection at one time. You know,
in the world,
kind of not in the world, but in this whatever in the country. Also, I think it comes from like Pennsylvania and stuff like that.
As a Quaker thing. Is that what drew
why
you
do
to
I?
it?
Why do I? I'm very sensitive about that. Yeah. No, so but then they also sold antique dolls, which my mother, they were experts at. And one time...
we don't have enough children that we love more than Andy. Let's bring some big ones in.
Oh, she's so cute. It's so cute. Don't touch that, Andy. Can I just touch the doll?
Those are grown-up toys.
Well, it's just a doll.
Those are grown-up toys.
Well, then antique dolls, they were great. And then Barbra Streisand called once, and my father talked to Barbra Streisand.
Really?
And it turns out that it wasn't a positive experience for anybody to deal with Barbra Streisand.
Really?
Because she would buy the dolls and she returned the dolls, that kind of thing.
Really?
I would have been...
Who would have thought Barbra Streisand
would be trouble?
Would be high maintenance.
So I used to like the Antiques Roadshow, even though there's some tomfoolery on it sometimes. But then it gets to these shows like the Pawn Stars. I wanted to like it. But the worst part of the Pawn Stars was the bit. They would do a fake bit. Have you ever seen them?
As the seasons went on, they did more and more fake storyline.
It doesn't look realistic for 1 second.
No.
What'd you do? I put my poison in Chumley's. I don't even care.
Right.
But when I found out that guy, do you know that I bought that razor? That was a terrible razor that would cut my face up. It was a safety razor.
Yeah.
I was in Bed Bath & Beyond. And this guy...
Oh, you bought like an old-timey safety razor?
And you know why I bought it? Because this older man, older than me even, was so excited about it. I didn't even do any research. I go, oh, what's that? He goes, oh, these are unbelievable. These are unbelievable. And the guy from the Pawn Stars sells it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he endorses it.
For his head?
Do you know, have you ever used a razor like that?
No.
I have many years ago, maybe. I saw my dad's.
Be careful. The testicles are a very sensitive area.
It's the worst razor you can possibly use. Safety razor is like a joke that they call it. It's a safety razor.
Right.
It's a safety razor in the sense that...
Like Joy Buzzer.
It's a safety razor in the sense of one step past the guy in the barbershop chair with a straight razor.
Right.
I don't know why that took so long. But it just, every time you would do it, you would cut your face up.
How many times did you
I tried to use it for 6 months. 6 months. And I would follow all the advice. Okay, what you need to do, soak your face 25 minutes. Right. Put on the thing.
With a brush. We've talked about this.
I don't know about the brush.
You got to do the brush with that shit.
Every day I would cut myself. Before auditions, after auditions. And then finally I said, why did I think this was going to be? And then I was even convincing people, this is great.
It's the greatest. Occasionally,
why did
you lose a pint.
Why did they ever go from this? I had convinced myself you get a closer shave. You do if you consider divoting your face.
Right. So close, it's under your skin.
So I use a 2-track razor. I don't know, you use a 3-track? What do you do?
Well, as you can see, I use very little of a razor.
Yeah, but you seem to have your beard is groomed. How do you groom your beard like that?
It's a trimmer, mostly. But I'll use what is the Mach, whatever.
Do you go in as a guy?
I use the Mach 3.
You know why I never liked the Mach 3? Because you can't shave under your nose with them. You have to get another razor to do that area.
Says who?
Says maybe I go by my ability to do things.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with it.
So
you go under here, it's like the Mach 3 is so smooth, it won't get the 3 blades to get your nose.
To do that under nose taint area.
Oh, my God. Josh, I told you that I'm trying to keep the show PG-13. I thought Seth Meyers was very funny last night at the Golden Globes. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch the show, but I watched his monologue.
He was very funny. And what did you think?
I thought it was good. Yeah. What was interesting to me is how unwilling that room was to go down Harvey Weinstein Road.
But I wasn't even thinking about that. But they seem to in general.
But it was still that Hollywood, I'm still afraid of Harvey Weinstein sort of energy.
Yeah, I get, because I think there's a thing about like that not everybody did. Like I think Meryl Streep said she didn't know. Because I was getting mad when the thing came out where they were saying, I think we talked about this, everybody knows. How do you know that like the things that have happened with people who we know, in some cases I didn't know.
No, and it's like, and if you're not a gossip person, you hear even less. Like I'm not a gossip-loving dude, so I don't seek gossip.
I would think that Meryl Streep, having been successful from the time she's, from a long, long time, people wouldn't be necessarily wanting to run to her to tell her these things. And Harvey Weinstein probably didn't act this way.
Very best behavior around Meryl Streep. Yeah, probably so. And she didn't ask more than that, probably. But I mean, it was a running joke for decades that he was just a prick in kind of every way.
Yeah, I thought he was more like because they used to
but he made, he participated in making great movies often.
Right, so because there were two people they would talk about, him and Scott Rudin.
Yeah.
And the movie, and I have no idea, he might be the nice guy in the world, but the movie Swimming with Sharks.
Yeah.
Is have you seen it?
Yeah, a friend of mine did the music for it.
I think it's based on Scott Rudin, but I don't know. Who's your friend?
Tom Hyle.
I know Tom Hyle. Why do I know him? I don't know. We'll catch up later.
Yeah.
Now, here's what happened today. I felt like I came in. I wanted to have a good show. You should see me. I shadow box at home now.
Yeah, that's good.
I go.
Ow! When the shadow catches you with a left.
I thought, because last week I was, from what I'm seeing online, which I haven't been watching anything much, people seem to have liked that last week's show, and I predicted it would be good.
Yeah.
This is probably not very good to do for the podcast, to just talk about how... So I thought I'd solved it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to come in this week. But I brought a lot of my bad habits with me, which is not listening, forgetting what I'm saying, and then dwelling on it. I think that's the most enjoyable part of that.
Yeah, that really is what makes the magic. Well, we have a bunch of listener questions again.
I love the listener questions.
Good.
I am a big fan of the listeners and their queries.
John E.L. Tenney.
I know that guy.
Yeah?
I know that guy.
Would J. Elvis Weinstein or Andy Kindler ever agree to go ghost hunting with me when I come to California later this year?
Now, here's the thing.
Or UFO spotting or Bigfoot tracking, it would be your call.
Well, here's the problem with any of them. They all sound like it could be fun, or we could be hit over the head with a shovel.
The's a little bit of that.
And buried in the field.
Yeah. He does have a blue check.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
So at least we can check in with Twitter.
That would be the greatest murder movie. Blue check.
He lists himself as monologist of UFOlogy and occult phenomena, supernormal Seamus, skeptical skeptic, author, lecturer, classic film lover, humorist.
I like, though, that what he's saying is he's open to because I think there could be, I don't want to get you mad.
I think he's more than open to it, as I get the impression.
But he's also a skeptic.
Skeptical skeptic, yeah.
Skeptical skeptic. Because here's the thing. We've talked about the fact that, Josh, I see corrective lenses. Have you worn glasses at any point?
Right.
So I don't buy the parlor game dime store psychics. But I do believe that there could be UFOs. Why wouldn't there be UFOs? And why, when people go, well, why wouldn't they have shown themselves to us? Why do they want to show themselves to us?
Well, of the three, I think between ghost hunting, UFO spotting, and Bigfoot hunting, UFO spotting sounds the best to me.
Well, Bigfoot hunting, what are the odds you're going to see Bigfoot?
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of walking involved with UFO spotting.
But I'm also interested in all, what are the three topics? UFOs, Bigfoot, and...
He offered up ghost hunting, UFO
hunting.
spotting, or Bigfoot tracking.
I think there could also be ghosts, though. But I could also think there could be ghosts.
Well, that would be an Abbott Costello movie waiting to happen.
What was that, Josh? Oh,
hemorrhoids.
Unbelievable. I'm trying to class the show up, and you bring it into your ass. I don't know. Here's the thing.
A guy with a speech impediment.
Are you being haunted by the ghost of Foster Brooks?
Yes. Let's move on.
But wait a second. Do you think there could be UFOs?
Sure.
Yeah, but I don't think the day we go out to look for them, they're going to show up.
This seems unlikely, but if you don't look...
But how long is it going to take? Is it something where we drive over to San Diego? Do we go to Big Bear? I don't want to be too long in the car with you or anybody else.
Right. Strong Wild Garbage says, I just want to let you know that this is one of my favorite shows, and Andy didn't even pay me to say that, but I am open to a few bucks under the table.
That's great to hear. That's not a question, though, is it?
No, a question, comment, or request is what I sent out.
Oh, I thought there were questions, and
they'll be all. They'll be a. Okay, it's a
you know what? That's the way you spice it up.
It's mixed nuts. Barb says, "I hope you received lots of good response from listeners on last week's podcast. It was so good. More, please." Now, I don't know if that means today's or last week's, the New Year's show.
Oh, well, don't you log these things?
Will Chris Cuomo be calling in, or is he in studio? Says name cannot be blank.
That's what I forgot to talk about.
Twitter action.
That's what I forgot to talk about. Okay. The elephant in the room. I don't even care. I don't even care that you're going to say don't play with Chris Cuomo, or I don't even care what you say about it. Actually, whenever I say I don't care, right. I'm investing my entire persona in whether you approve. But the thing is this. Regardless of whether we like my Twitter activity or not, I am very angry at these media people who seem to still be gaining money, gaining their own fame, and yet they totally blew. They are responsible, not completely responsible, but they are partially responsible for Trump being elected.
Yeah.
And Cuomo was like that too. He always promoted it like these are the two least popular candidates in the history of the country. That was a lie to say it that way. To not warn people as much about Trump's danger and to make it seem like, oh, we don't know who. I thought that was just deceptive. It wasn't the truth. Do you know what I'm saying, or are you just so sick of me that what's the point?
No, I'm just trying to think of some sort of
rejoinder
discussion point because I agree with some of that, and I think there was too much equivocating, if that's the right word. Yeah. But there also was that sort of the arch hatred of each candidate on both sides.
Right, but the hatred for Hillary has been a professional job for so many years that's hard to separate.
Right.
I think the thing I hate about the media was like that guy John Allen who wrote the book about Hillary Clinton. These guys, they hated Hillary Clinton. I'll give you another example. They all said when Hillary said that Al-Qaeda. Well, that's not Al-Qaeda. What's the new version of the horrible people? ISIS. And so everything that happened with Hillary Clinton. Here's what I forgot to say. Sorry. There was that debate, and Hillary Clinton said that ISIS is right now using Donald Trump as their advertising tool. Right now, right? And then all these people, Haberman, all these people I can't stand. I can't remember their names because it upset me. They were all saying, oh, she's lying about that. She's lying about that. First of all, she was making a point at a debate. She wasn't saying, I know of these 55,000 videos. But of course what she was saying was true. Right? They were using her. But because they said she didn't know about specific videos, that she was a liar. Well, that's the kind of way they ran the whole campaign, the media. And she's not a liar at all compared to this guy who lies about everything.
Right.
So that's the false equivalence. But I guess it's just boring.
It's kind of boring.
But Cuomo, I had a thing with him today.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it, at least.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, all I'm saying is I think it's really odd that people will take always the more popular. Well, I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but they'll take the celebrity side. It's happened with Shatner. They just think
but they have fans.
They do?
Yeah.
They have fans. That's true.
People's fans will defend the I think you learned this maybe with a little English fellow that people have.
But
fans.
the Cuomo fans aren't the same. I don't think they're the mean. They're not as mean as there's nobody meaner than the Gervais fans. In fact, before I talked about Gervais, you said you didn't even want to talk about it because you didn't want to attract the energy.
Right.
And it's true. He has a really mean energy. People who like Cuomo are under the impression that CNN is a great news channel.
Right.
And so then you get into that whole thing, and it's not a great news channel. I just really don't know what to do sometimes about the anger when we go back to normal on all of these things. It's like we made this horrible mistake. This guy should never have been elected. There's no excuse for him being elected. And I don't like that the media has gotten stronger as they continue to not cover things correctly. Thank you. Vote for me.
Well, I think, honestly, on the whole, the media is doing a pretty fucking good job.
Before the election.
No, before the election was bad, but I think they learned some of those lessons from that.
I don't know if they learned lessons or they're just always going with the story that they think is the most popular or interesting story.
No, I think that's probably true as well.
The bubble-headed bleach blonde comes on.
But they did start learning how to call lies. They
did. But the idea that journalism is presenting every issue as if there's two sides to it is not journalism. It's just false. To go like, so there are two sides to racism? Well, the racists say this. No, there aren't two sides to racism. And the idea that you don't take a position, there's nothing journalistic about that. And I wish I knew more about the topic so I could really argue about it. I just don't think that when they claim they're doing they claim when they always say, we're journalists. I don't buy it. What are they so journalists about? They don't bring their own thing, like Maggie Haberman doesn't bring her own thing to the table. I mean, many of them don't.
It's not journalism to just take two people with opposing agendas, stick them on TV
like
for
CNN
10 minutes.
Does.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
It's not journalism. It's just a little mini shouting match.
Well, crossfire. It's 24/7 crossfire.
Yeah, and it fills lots of time, and it occasionally creates compelling conflict. But there's no nutrition to it whatsoever.
And it's terrible. The worst is CNN because, you see these people, they start arguing with these people who are just like Trump people.
Right. And I watch MSNBC and they just don't bring on the right wing person generally.
Except for Hugh Hewitt. And
Hugh Hewitt, yeah.
And that makes me mad. But in general, no, I think CNN is just,
they have guys like Michael Steele. They have sort of former Republicans or,
Well, I like Nicole Wallace. I think she's
rhinos, if you will.
I like Nicole Wallace.
I like Nicole Wallace too, but they're all kind of reformed Republicans.
But Greta, I couldn't
Richard
stand.
Painter is a reformed Republican at this point.
I don't know if he's a reformed. He just seems like a straight guy, right?
Yeah, but he's
I love him.
He's not welcome at the next GOP party. Let's just say. Okay, let's move on. Keith Bush wants a link to Andy's Bandcamp, please. Is there a recording of For Sure?
Okay, now there will not be a recording of For Sure because that's a terrible song. But I think that I have some good songs that I wouldn't be too embarrassed now. See, the new Andy.
Well, now you'll have an audience for them. I think you should put them on.
Right, but not For Sure, and not Karen.
Okay.
You've heard Karen?
No.
Karen, don't waste. There's a woman who had a crush.
Like the Karen.
It's a Karen. This is so terrible. She had a crush on me. She was like, and I was like, no, she never. Maybe she did. I think she had a crush on me. I wrote a whole song about how Karen. I'm sorry things are not going well, but I'm not the person for you. That's the whole song, Karen.
Karen,
so the line was,
let me let you down easy, Karen.
Then it goes, Karen, I know you need someone who will help you belong. I know you need someone who will help you be strong. But Karen, that person isn't me. Now that sounds like a parody song.
Yeah.
Like, who would write a song? I know you're going through pain, Karen. Is Karen, don't waste your time on me was the first lines. But how do you outlive that embarrassment?
Well, you don't talk about it.
But this was the chorus of For Sure. I'm going to do it,
okay,
even though it's terrible.
Good.
For sure.
How many measures was the laugh?
I don't know, but why didn't I realize when I was embarrassed by those songs that they were bad?
So it's not. They're never going to.
It will. No. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen. It's just like everything else in my life. It should happen quicker, but I'm excited about it. Maybe I'll let you know. Are you excited about it, Josh?
I am.
Hearing my tunes.
I so am.
I had some great musicians who played with me.
Yeah.
And songwriters.
Lone Shark, Lone Shark, asks, "Hi guys, I'd love to hear about what kind of material Josh was doing as a teenager. It sounds like most people didn't know how young you were. What did you talk about on stage?" I talked about, at first it was like a lot of TV commercial kind of bullshit. Like it was never about me.
It was never about I'm so young. It
was never about me being a kid at all.
So you never acknowledged that. I mean, It wasn't what you wanted to do. You were ready to go.
Yeah. And then then it just became like collecting observational bits. It was stuff about once I started going on the road, there was lots of, being on the road jokes, and went to North Dakota. So I came back with North Dakota jokes, and there was lots of regional, like I had a big ice fishing bit, I did a bit of, like barely political things. I would do I'm like things are just sort of coming back to me as I'm like scanning my head right now. I remember there was I had some half-assed premise about cartoon, like news channels, but having cartoons act out the news, sort of. So, like Elmer Fudd as a Nicaraguan nationalist, be very quiet. We're hunting contours.
Oh my God! Now that is as embarrassing as anything I've done. And so you shared that.
But I was 16.
What are you hunting?
What's your excuse?
I was 16 when I wrote Karen.
Contours.
Contras?
Contours.
Contours.
It really did very well, that joke.
So you were playing up the Reagan anti-communist.
It was Elmer Fudd as a Nicaraguan nationalist.
Simple as that. Don't attach any meaning to it. I had a lot of material about traveling on the road.
I had something in that bit with Marvin the Martian too, and I don't remember what it was.
Who is that?
But, you make me very angry indeed. That's kind of Yoda.
Is he the Cookie
Marvin
Monster?
the Martian? He was the Martian in Bugs Bunny.
That's a very sad thing.
I'm going to vaporize you.
I never watched Bugs Bunny.
Really?
Some of them, I know. It's not like I didn't want to watch him.
Wow. Violin lessons or some shit?
No. I remember the one that goes, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. He's going through a movie theater. That always made me laugh.
Yeah.
But I watched bad cartoons. I watched Hanna-Barbera cartoons because they were more like sitcoms to me.
Because they were all doing sitcom voices.
And would I had to have been in a movie theater to see the other ones?
No.
Where would you have seen Bugs Bunny?
Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show.
Oh, okay.
Saturday morning.
And I told
you were at shul.
I've told you before that I didn't. Speech impediments always bothered me that they would be doing jokes about it.
Really?
A little bit.
Really?
A little bit. I don't know why.
You prefer your succotash to suffer and unslurred?
No, I used to have a theory that there were too many cartoony sounds in cartoons. Like everything was exaggerated. Hey, I'm a bear. It's amazing. So sometimes on auditions, I don't want to do it crazy.
So you steal picnic baskets? That's fantastic.
So I would bring that's why I don't get a lot of voiceovers, because I don't do any voices like that. Hey.
All right. Jennifer Hansen, any idea when merch will be available? I really want to see Andy make some money off this endeavor.
It's a sad comment.
It is. It's coming. In fact, check out this mug here.
Oh.
There's still a flaw, as you notice. We got off center on that side.
Oh.
So I got a new sample coming, but it's a good looking mug.
I think it looks nice.
The thought spiral.
What do you mean they're lead lined? What, you got a better deal on them?
They're heavier. It's nicer when they're heavier like that.
Oh, don't drink out of these, folks.
Oh no, it's a commemorative only. It's only for trading.
I used to love when Letterman would say no wagering.
Right. Not a contest. No wagering.
Everything he said made me laugh.
Me too, for a time.
I want to see his new show.
Me too. So merch is coming soon. I have a new mug sample on the way. Alex is he's doing okay with this, but
has he left the country? What does he do? Is he coming out here?
He went to South America.
Is he coming out here, you think?
He might be.
Oh, okay.
I think he is.
Come on, Alex. Let's get some things going. And when are we starting with our Patreons? Or when are we starting with the Carfax? People who listen to podcasts love to have good websites, right?
Yeah.
And what else do they get sponsored by? Oh, they don't like to go to the post office.
Right. Ugh. With the post office.
Don't you hate going to the post office? Not really. Well, now you never have to. What do I do instead? You print something from your computer? I don't even understand it. Do you do it? I bet you do it.
Print postage?
Yes.
No.
I'm an adult. We're not 12. You didn't get sick from me, did you?
No.
All right.
I got sick of you.
I actually did laugh for real.
Did you?
I laughed for real at you doing it the way you did it, and then I realized I had to stop.
Gotcha. What is your favorite Robert Mitchum movie? You know what he was in that I liked? And I know it's not really a Robert Mitchum movie, but he was in Scrooged as the crazy network executive.
Oh, I think I love that movie.
There was a lot of good shit in it.
With Bill Murray as
Scrooge, yeah.
I'd say I loved it, but maybe I just liked it.
Well, you love the Christmas movies.
I've never seen Elf.
No?
I heard that's good.
Look, there you go.
Do you like Elf?
You're getting to an age where you can watch stuff and it'll feel like the first time no matter what. So.
How about Bad Santa? I've never seen that.
A lot of funny stuff in it.
That's with...
If you like Cranky.
Is it with William H. Bobson?
Yes. Billy Bob Macy.
Billy Bob Macy. No. Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
The way he talks, he likes the way I talk. You know that movie, right? Sling Blade.
I do, yeah.
Thank you. This is why we don't have movie trivia shows, Josh.
Nick Kosay, I think is how he says it. K-O-C-A-Y. Thought Spiral. I think I can speak for all Thought Spiralites when I say, hey, you still owe us a Jimmy Stewart Christmas special. I saw Andy perform in Winnipeg for CBC's Debaters and loved it.
Wow.
What was your experience like doing the show? Would you two perform here in the future?
Was it Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Well, this would be if I was a good partner, I would be setting up. I would have already called the Moon Tower Festival,
right.
But I haven't done that.
Right. Okay.
I love Winnipeg, and I've loved it every time. I've been going up there in one form or another since 1988. I first went up to do Yuck Yucks in 1988, and I love doing that Debaters thing there. And there, I often wish that they were my country. I've done
Winnipeg a couple times. I had a horrible New Year's Eve there one year, probably like 1990.
What happened?
90 to 91.
Was it at Rumors?
It was at. It was not at Rumors. It was at the other place that sort of challenged Rumors for a few years. And it was a horrible place where it's like they had first put me. It was first of all it was 40 below zero.
Right.
It was crazy cold, and you could not. Like, I had to get a jump start every single time I wanted to take my car somewhere. Everyone else's car was plugged in.
Why were you up there with a car? Oh, rental car.
Well, I came from Minneapolis.
Oh.
No, it was my car.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I got hassled at the border both times, and it was like a miserable long.
What would they?
And I was there for like 10 days because New Year's Eve fell on a weird thing.
Did you have to have? What were they hassling you about? You don't bring pot or anything like that.
I didn't bring pot, but they searched my car as if I brought pot.
Didn't that make you nervous? Like, what's on here that I don't know is in here?
Well, it was, yeah, and it's happened to me I used to get hassled all the time crossing the Canadian border, and like that time coming back, they actually took me out of my car, stuck me in like an interrogation room by myself while they pulled apart my car.
And were you scared?
No, I was annoyed because I knew it had happened to me before, kind of.
And you knew there was nothing.
So I knew I wasn't.
Were they
anything.
apologetic afterwards at all?
No, they're never apologetic. But when I was sitting in that room, the door was open, and someone popped their head in and like did a callback to my act that they had seen 2 nights earlier.
Well, they happened to be going through the border at the same time?
Yeah.
That's great. That person left you there. Well, I also don't.
That was the bit I sold to Louis Anderson, but it was this bit where the callback thing was ching ching.
Oh.
And so they leaned in and went, "Hey, Josh, ching ching."
Well,
but I like Winnipeg in general. I saw, what I did. The cool thing about that trip is I saw the Crash Test Dummies playing in a little tiny bar to like 10 people.
I don't even remember who they were.
They were the band who did like, once there was this kid who got into an accident and caught that one.
I don't know that song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also don't want to mislead people because...
Also, what is it that makes me just a little bit queasy?
They were Elvis Costello?
No, they were Crash Test Dummies.
I just wanted to don't mislead people. I bombed when I first went to Winnipeg, and I bombed a couple of times there at that Rumors Club.
Yeah.
But more recently, I've had a great time there.
Now that you're a Canadian god.
I don't like to talk about it, Josh, but I'm very big there.
Yeah.
Josh.
5'6".
Wow. If you had to be here to appreciate the humor there, because he gave me the old look. Huh?
Twisting the eyeball knife.
Josh, there's something wrong with my soup.
And the Jimmy Stewart Christmas special. I can't necessarily. Welcome to the Jimmy Stewart Christmas special with my special guest, Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley.
Hi, Tavis. Welcome. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I'm Tavis Smiley.
Yeah, you said that, Tavis.
Okay.
I introduced you.
Whatever happened with Tavis Smiley? I know he was accused of something. I don't care. I just, when these people get accused of stuff, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's not right that if it's a person I don't like that much to begin with, that I don't root. I mean, it's not a nice. I'm not a nice person, I think.
No, I think that's kind of the core of it.
Is that Schadenfreude? Like, I don't like Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
So
no one likes Jeremy.
Nobody
Piven.
likes him. He was very mean to me.
People did like Tavis Smiley, though.
Tavis Smiley. Well, also some of these.
Welcome, Tavis.
Tavis. Remember when Yule Hauser went to interview Tavis Smiley? He's fans.
See, you always just do the voice that I'm doing.
I know that's what ruins it.
It's hard to.
All right, let me do it. I'll be Tavis Smiley.
You're going to be Tavis Smiley?
And you're going to be...
Tavis, how are you? I hear you have your own little talk show here.
Oh, my guest today on the show is Yule Hauser, who has a great show called...
California Gold.
California Gold. Now, I've listened to your show, and I'm a very boring interviewer, but I want to ask you... I'm Tavis Smiley. Have you heard my name?
I have. It's fantastic.
I do a show called The Tavis Smiley Show. Now, do you want to know who some of the guests were?
I'd love to hear. Was Cher ever on?
Yes, she was.
Did she do her famous song, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves?
She did. When Cher sang Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, it was a wonderful moment. Now, your show's in California.
My show is fantastic.
Now,
it's exploring all the hidden nooks and crannies of California's gold.
The nooks and crannies. It's not about various gold in California, is it?
Everywhere in California is gold. That's what I'm trying to say. It's the Golden State.
I just realized how annoying it was that I would do the same voice every time we do Yule Hauser. It's your impression.
Exactly.
Well,
it gets hard to do.
Oh, this is Tavis Smiley. This is the first in the bonus Thought Spiral tapes. You can only get this if you go to Patreon.
See, that's the problem with Patreon, is that's the kind of shit we would dump on there.
Now, here's the thing. Remember, I'm with Patreon, so send that to Andy Patreon at my box number. Well, I think...
Okay. Here,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, move it along.
I'm going to move along.
Yeah. Don't be sorry, ever, that you stopped me.
MST3K for life says, do either of you believe there is intelligent life out there? Does it scare you that anyone out there monitoring us might hear Trump speak and think we are anything at all like him?
I think about that every day. I really have to convince myself every day I can't be responsible that other people are going to look at me like I'm an idiot.
Here's the solace is I think the way that that broadcast signals travel, the speed, the aliens are probably the good news is they're just now getting Joseph McCarthy.
Oh my God. I mean, I saw you wind up on that catfish Hunter called during that joke. And he asked me, where'd you get that
huge wind up?
Is that an actual picture? I think it is, right?
It was good. It was a great reference.
I'm going to use that. One of us should use that in our act.
Yeah, I'll let you have the catfish Hunter.
I'll say it's the wind up on that joke. No, the wind up. I thought I was.
Here's Louis Tiant.
All of a sudden, Dizzy Dean was. I have been having a lot of fun going after Dennis Miller about, I think the bathrobe shows.
The bathrobe shows?
The bathrobe bonus shows. It's him in the bathrobe.
Hey, I just got out of the shower. I thought of something pithy.
Have you seen any of them?
Here's a joke on a rope.
That's the worst thing I've heard since Aqua Velva merged with Prowl to cause I am poor blood.
Sorry you didn't show up earlier. You could have loofed my stretch marks.
Let's see. Emily B says, don't let anyone tell you to stop singing. Thank you.
That's very nice.
Dana Schwartz says, please stop singing.
What?
He's a smart ass.
Did you leave in last week when I sang? I hope you didn't, but who knows?
I think I did.
What was I singing for about an hour and a half?
I don't even remember anymore. It all just passes through.
Was I doing my thing that I love those songs when I go, I'm gonna be the bassman. I'm gonna play on my hi-hat. I said, right, Sally, right.
We did talk about that
Good.
a little bit.
Good. I just want to make sure we buttoned it up.
Okay.
Does that hat come with a free box of Good and Plenty? Because he was an engineer.
Don't know that one.
Engineer.
Oh, okay. It's not really an engineer hat.
Choo Choo Charlie was an engineer. Choo Choo Charlie. Why are you leaving me out to dry? This was our closing song.
Because you were mocking me.
That's true. You shouldn't have to then come back and back me up.
Hey, guys, says TD. Hey, guys, how did you meet each other? And how did you get the idea of doing this podcast together?
Have we established how we met each other?
We established that we don't recall.
It was at one of these. The connection was Minnesota, probably.
It was lots.
Don't quit.
It was lots of common
Higgins
friends.
Boys and Gruber.
It was that. It was probably Madison or them or Gruber or Chris Bliss.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you the most at Chris Bliss's house, but we had met before then.
And I remember too because I say, look, Josh, I can give you an autograph.
There's other people to mingle with.
If I
have
sign
a room
for you.
So we don't really know, but
no, but it was around 1990 something,
mid 90s, and then I think we became closer friends when your wife did pictures of my wife, did headshots for.
Oh, okay, yes.
And they liked each other, so then we had that whole couple chemistry.
Yes,
and then that all fell apart after the big war.
Well, we don't want to talk about that because I surrendered.
Right.
I was in the bathtub with a hooker and a flare and a thing and a schmoople going, hello!
CJ, with a Canadian flag, obviously need more background on Chris Cuomo feud. Andy is on fire emoji.
I think I explained it, right?
This is my new favorite podcast, Past Marin.
Oh, well, no, Marin's, he's the greatest. So I can't.
So no one can like us.
No,
more
we're not. We're not even fit to
grow up. Fucking grow up, Andy.
Oh,
this is the podcast Big Leagues.
Oh, I told you to wait.
Put on your big boy pants and take off your gloves.
What was I wearing the gloves about? Oh, because
yeah, exactly.
Bare hands.
Cubicle Clown says, "Will Andy please give us any early thoughts on his next state of the industry?" Oh, great! Here comes the hives.
You know, just my mind goes blank. I had some things today that I was thinking about, but I don't have them off the top of my head. I don't think I'll talk about the Louis C.K. thing, probably. Wait, Louis C.K. happened after Montreal, right?
Yes.
Another opening, another show. I've got material for 8 hours more.
It won't be tired at all by then.
I don't think we'll ever get tired of me talking about. No, we will. I won't talk about. Did you see Lorne Michaels when they showed him in the crowd last night?
No, but I saw someone on Twitter talking about.
He was like
stone-faced.
What is the matter with him?
Was he stone-faced or was he grimacing?
He was grimacing.
Yeah. Was he wincing at a joke? Or?
It was. You can't tell with him because. This is a person who has made that actual face looks like the expression he made for his whole life.
Right.
You don't naturally have a what is it?
Grimace?
Grimace.
Yeah.
He made himself have that.
Gotcha.
I think you are doing a deal with him because you're always so afraid to talk about him. So you don't want to make that deal.
The way I saved your special by taking out the abomination chunk.
That's the only, I have residual anger about it.
I know, you brought it up for 15 years now.
So what was it about the Lord Michaels like you didn't enjoy?
Okay, both of you, says Andrew McKenzie, come up with at least one thing that's good about Trump. Why? Why do that?
Now, does this guy like Trump? Is that why?
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that. I don't think that's a good exercise.
I don't think so either. John K. Emilianoff. Every time Josh plugs I Need You to Kill, now available on VOD and Amazon, etc., which he actually put in parentheses, Andy ought to immediately follow up with, oh yeah, killing's great, but I need you to build ... that paywall.
Oh.
I don't think you should. I
think
I should be able to freely plug
did.
I Need You to Kill, available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. And,
did I tell you I'm in a thing called but I'm Chris Jericho?
You did.
Yeah. Have I mentioned it in the middle of your plug?
I saw the GIF that you posted of it yesterday.
And were you
funny. It looked funny.
I'm a funny. I told you I'm a funny guy.
You're good in GIFs.
I'm a good as a Jew.
That's a good dose of you.
Vines were too long for me.
Vines are a little much.
I'm tired.
A little much.
Do you need to have all that?
You GIF your Andy, a GIF size Andy. It's like a fun size candy bar.
Did you think the Vine was going to last? And why do you think the Vine didn't last? I think it didn't last. Why?
Because it was an irritating thing.
It'd be like watching YouTube, the shorter version. Oh, I like YouTube, and then you get bored even quicker.
It's like if you watched YouTube but didn't quite know how to operate YouTube, so it kept starting over every 6 seconds. Plymouth Jim says, Andy, wouldn't it be sad if they had to euthanize the endangered lion that ate a Trump son in a wonderful big game hunting mishap? Asking for a friend.
Oh, what they're saying nation. Is, so they're hoping that one of the Trump kids gets devoured by a lion. See, the thing about when you're not ever supposed to hope something bad happens to somebody,
right?
Especially if you're a public figure. I don't know why I'm thinking I'm a public figure, but is it wrong to say, well, I don't, if he happened to get devoured by a lion, I wouldn't be sad. Is that wrong?
Yeah, it's all about phrasing. God can't see through that. Regular Brianna says, I'm marching in place in my living room to win a Fitbit challenge. Is this a good idea? TIA.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Too much information?
No.
Tell me.
I thought I'd ask, maybe?
That's it.
Yes, that is the only way to win a Fitbit challenge.
What is a Fitbit? Is that the thing on your wrist?
Steps, yeah.
Oh. I bet that would be the best way to do it, right?
I can't think of an actual way.
Well, you just go on a long walk or something.
Oh, shit. That would... Dana Schwartz, yet again, comes back for more. Comment asking for input like this was a great idea. Congrats. Michelle Wisecarver.
Yeah.
Would love to hear more ribald tales about doing stand-up and the people who do/did it. People who influenced you both, comics you particularly admire. Just started number 35 tonight, and wow, holy shit, I love you guys.
That's so great to hear. And I would like to talk more about comedy, because I was thinking I have so many things that are stories for me, but a lot of people don't know it, and it's interesting to people. So I would like to do it, but then that would require me to prepare.
Okay.
What do you think? I love the comic stuff. Inside the box.
Yeah. So think of stories. We'll keep sprinkling them in.
I thought it was something.
Influences?
Oh, my influences are David Letterman, Woody Allen, Mary Tyler Moore, Jackie Gleason,
Rickles,
Saturday Night Live, SCTV. I loved all the guys in SCTV, and almost all the people on Saturday Night Live too. Not almost all. Sitcoms. Who else?
I don't know.
How about you? Who are you influenced by?
No one directly, but everybody. It's just, you pick up stuff from everyone along the way, and not stuff that you steal, but no matter what, if you're paying attention to what's in front of you, you're always kind of dissecting it and taking information away.
I think when I first saw Saturday Night Live, because I was 18 or 19 when the show came out, that was the first time I thought, oh, a lot of the things that I think are funny could be like the lounge singer or whatever. I was like, oh, I could see how I could do something. Not that I even thought I could do characters,
right.
But I just felt like, oh, I could be involved in this kind of comedy somehow. That was very inspirational. And SCTV was even more at some point because it came at I don't know, we got them in the 80s? I forget when we got them first.
Late 70s.
Yeah. Because they were to me, they were so cool. Because, you probably know this, but when I'm watching, I know intellectually that Saturday Night Live is going to be more hit and miss because of the way it's constructed. But I don't really think about that when I watch the two different shows. SCTV was able to work on stuff more, so sometimes they had stuff that was like amazingly funny because they had time to not do it live.
Yeah, no, it was a much more developed and often longer form.
And also you could do bits like used fruit. He did a bit like that. Eugene Levy was Al Peck, used fruit. The fruit's new, but the state says I have to sell it used. I don't think you could even do a bit like that in Saturday Night Live, except in like a movie or something. I mean, they were able to do more.
Well, they did. They did things like Bassomatic and stuff like that. There was tons of fake commercials.
I'm beginning to think that I don't have much to offer when I come out with my, it's like, when you listen to it, do you think maybe he's onto something, or you just assume it's going to be usual garbage?
Well, first I'm trying to go, is this a long-held theory, or is this something he's coming up with now?
Yeah.
Brian says, what's it going to take to get Andy's cassette tape recordings up on Bandcamp? The people want them. Love your podcast.
Well, thank you. I'll also say that when I do get them up and running, I have better media than the cassettes. Because I still think people will take the reel-to-reel copies, right? And can work off those.
Oh, you mean you want to take them somewhere to get them transferred?
I think better than taking them off the cassettes, maybe. Well, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm overthinking this.
I honest to God, you're never going to do any of this, so it doesn't really matter. Tweet Bahara. Josh, do you know where the original MST3K puppets are? No. No, I don't.
That's the short answer, but the long answer is...
I really absolutely do not.
I'm sure Hodgson has them, right?
No, I don't. It's hard to say even what the originals were because there was the local show, and those were different puppets.
Right.
And they got highly upgraded for when we sold it to Comedy Channel. So... and then a lot of shit got auctioned off. But there was a lot of puppets.
Auctioned off just at various things?
No, Jim Mallon, the guy who ended up owning the show, when it was all over, he auctioned off a lot of the props and set pieces.
Sounds like a nice thing to do.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And then the second part of Tweet Bahara. Andy, did you see American Splendor, the Picard bio movie? Any thoughts from a loyal spiraler, thought skier?
I saw it. I enjoyed it. But in fact, I really loved it. But I so much kind of more wanted it to be a documentary about him or something.
Right.
But I think in retrospect, I think the movie works well. I just can't remember everything in it.
Right.
But I always remember watching it going, I'd love to see just a whole documentary about him.
Right.
Who played him in that?
Paul Giamatti.
He was good. I mean, there were good things in there. And it was definitely good. Judah was good. Everybody was good at it. But it wasn't, I guess it was like what I wanted was the comic book or something, and it wasn't quite that level. But what am I doing? I complain about so much stuff, Josh. What am I doing?
Did I tell you Picard gave my kid his phone number?
Are you kidding me?
No. He went to a reading or a signing when he was in town once, and he started talking to him. And And Pete Carlo's like, I have to go, but here, give me a call sometime.
Did he call him?
He didn't. He was too intimidated to do it, and then he died not that long after. But
I had his phone number from a mutual friend, and he said, Harvey will be fine if you call. I just couldn't do it.
Right.
It was like he was too much of a hero to me. But I actually think if I'd ever gone to Cleveland and if there was ever a chance of meeting him, I would have tried to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think that he's a curmudgeon, but it's like the way he is in his book, I think he would be great to talk to. I don't know why I'm saying this. We always want to. Why does he have to perform for me when I go see him?
Right. It didn't seem like he was a chatty guy, which is probably why he connected to my son.
I think he wasn't. I think he loved to deal with people and stuff like that, but I think he was a curmudgeon.
Yeah, and I think he was absolutely Asperger's.
Yeah, I think so. Right,
yeah.
Somewhere along the line.
Like, yeah, for sure on the spectrum somewhere. Said my expert diagnosis.
Except that I think he was more depressed, maybe. I don't know. I know what you mean, though.
They don't.
He was eccentric.
They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Right.
Here's my brother, Chad Weinstein.
Hi, Chad.
I suggest that you repeatedly reenact the infamous William F. Buckley Gore Vidal exchange. Rock, paper, scissors to pick a role. I long for literate acrimony. Throw in Foster Brooks if you get a need to punch it up. Pure gold.
What is he writing for us now?
He's writing. Really?
Well, I have seen that documentary.
Which one?
Which was fantastic, which is Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley.
Yeah, they did not like each other.
Well, I think William F. Buckley was a prick. You know, I don't really get the positive side of him that people liked.
Right.
I thought he was just an asshole.
Why would you say that, Andy?
Well, he's talking to James Baldwin. Is it James Baldwin?
It might be.
And he's telling James Baldwin that he's not talking the way you should normally talk. He's putting on a voice. I had to punch that guy in the face.
William F. Buckley is talking about someone's affectation?
Yes.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Well, I think that's our show.
I think we did a good job. What if people want to contact us?
If they want to contact us, they should please write us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
You have a little bit...
Or thought_spiral on Twitter.
You could actually do an impression of Chuck Todd, because you're not sing-songy, but you almost could be... Because he's always like, and if you want to know that... Look into it, Josh, because that would be very popular.
Well, I look forward to being on your mean tweet list.
Ooh.
And
we love you. Happy New Year.
We love you. Go get yourself a copy of I Need You to Kill at iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, or on pay-per-view.
That's why you're dressed better.
Yes, it's all that documentary money rolling in, baby.
And remember, until the next spiral, if you're spiraling, then you're not thinking. If you're thinking, then you better be spiraling. May all your spirals be thoughtless.
All right.
I like that. I like that you say, all right. You're not saying you love it, but we're done.